Well, it's a pleasure for us to be here and speak with you today and share a little bit about high performance and about the mind. Certainly as a sports psychologist, I lead a company called Mind of the Athlete, where I work with many high performers. Of course, one of my favorites to work with is Sage. Some of you might know about Sage and his racing, some of you might not. I thought we'd kick it off by showing you a small clip of who Sage Karam is by looking at a YouTube video. Does that sound good? Okay.
Guys, this is tight. Oh, baby. This is what people look for. 3-0. Karam and Munoz nearly touch. On the outside of 4, remaining 3 wide. Gabi Chavez. We're going to have a 3 wide shootout at the line. It's a drag race. Who's got the momentum? Here comes Dempsey. Dempsey's going to go 4 wide. It's going to be. Oh, Dempsey won it. Oh, Dempsey won it.
It's definitely hard because, I mean, that was like one of the best finishes ever in the history of racing. So to be a part of that was cool, but at the same time, coming up so short was really tough. And that was like the one race that everybody wanted to win the whole year, and just kind of hurt a lot. But that was like actually the first time I think I've actually been pretty scared in a car. Was at 210 miles an hour. It was like a foot away from 2 people on either side of you, and definitely nerve-wracking, but it was a lot of fun. And I actually remember, like, when we crossed the finish line, I didn't know what place I got, and I was kind of speechless. It was the first time I ever got out of the car, and I was just like, wow, that was pretty incredible, and I don't know, it was a good time.
Sage and I have had the pleasure of knowing each other for many years, and our families have known each other for many years, and it's pretty out there in the open that Sage and I have been working together, and I've been serving Sage and helping him and mentor him and teach him about the mind as much as I possibly can, so that in moments when you're going 210 plus miles an hour with a car on either side of you a foot away, somehow you can not get nervous and freak out. So that's kind of what we work on in sports psychology. And so over the past few years, Sage has done a lot of work, developing a lot of skills and a lot of abilities to manage nervousness. Today, we can go in a lot of different directions with our time here. I certainly have a PowerPoint presentation already prepared with some great stuff in it, but that's not as important for me to get to the content that I want to share. It's more important to get to the stuff that you guys want to hear. The questions that maybe you have, saying, wait, these 2 guys are kind of interesting up here, and I'd like to know a little bit more about this or that. Maybe it's on the high performance athlete side and the racing side. Maybe it's a little bit more on the sports psychology side and the mental side. But I'm hoping that somebody might have a question that they'll throw out there that we might use as a jumping off point for our time today.
First thing is, you got to get some alone time before you get in the car. It's like enough of that. So now it's like before I get in a car, it's like 20 minutes before. We call it like just getting our alone time, and I'll just put some headphones on and just go sit in the engineering office. And his big motto is clear mind, better performance. So that's when I take that 20 minutes. It's just trying to clear out everything and just get totally in the zone and get ready, instead of, you know, talking to people and flirting and stuff. It's tough because you can't really practice like with wrestling. It's every day you practice, and with racing it's like quite expensive, and you can only, like right now, you can only go practice in Florida or California. So it's really tough just to get seat time in practice. But when I'm going up through weeks before and stuff, I'm always looking at data. It's like everything on the car is got like kind of like a computer, and everything the engineer that I work with can see everything that I do in the car. Like if I turn the steering wheel a centimeter, he'll be able to see that. If the flat tire is going, he'll be able to tell. And so before the race, like a week out, we'll be hitting it pretty hard. Is just looking at all this data, all the video. Like you saw, the one kid had the video on his car. We all have that. So the video is really important. And then like this race coming up in March 12th, I've never raced this car at the track, so they just sent me a bunch of video, and they give you track maps kind of where to go, because I mean that's an oval. I race both road courses and ovals. So on the track maps, it will tell you like what gear you should be in for certain turns and like the RPM and stuff. So it's all, you know, a lot of studying. It's almost like school. But I guess it's a little bit more fun.
There's a whole model of the mind called the iceberg model of the mind. And it's basically saying that 10% of your mind is the conscious mind. You're consciously aware of the jacket that I'm wearing, the sound of my voice, the screen. You're consciously aware of that's 10% of your mind. 90% of your mind is under the waterline. That's the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is made up of 3 levels. The unconscious, where memories are stored you can't really access. The ex-conscious mind, that's a term that I coined to describe that part of your mind where outdated, less useful information is stored, like your 10th birthday party memory. And then the top layer is called the pre-conscious mind. And the pre-conscious mind is that place in the mind where memories are stored that can easily be recalled, but they're outside of your immediate awareness. Little red dots, we say, occupy that space in there. They're often emotionally charged, unresolved issues. For example, the exam you've got coming up is a red dot there. Maybe the region wrestling tournament that you've got coming up, or maybe there's an injury or tension in your home, relationship with your mom, maybe your girlfriend or boyfriend just cheated on you. It could be lots of different things, but they occupy space in the pre-conscious mind. Hopefully that didn't happen. But you can see where those emotionally charged things occupying space in the pre-conscious mind flood your mind, hence it's no longer clearer. So an athlete gets injured, no longer are you focused just on competing, you're focused on competing but protecting your back because you don't want to tweak it anymore, or your shoulder, so you're kind of making adjustments. Now your mind's not so clear. How do we handle those kind of situations? That's the mental prep and training that we try to do as best we can to help an athlete overcome that. Hence the motto, clearer mind, better performance. It relates to academics as well. If you wake up and you're well rested, you've got great sleep, that's something we talk a lot about, then you're more likely to feel better, your mind's clearer, and you can do well academically. Clearer mind, better performance. That's the mantra that we say. Sleep being a big part in having that clear mind, better performance. So here's a couple sleep tips for you guys that might help increase your performance. The most important factor in sleep is not how many hours you get, even though you should, according to the research, get 8.8 hours of sleep a night. How many of you get that? 2. Or adults in the back. It's the consistency of your sleep that matters the most. You wake up at the same time, you go to bed at the same time. If you can hold that consistency for 3 straight nights, you feel really good. But if you throw your sleep off just one night, it takes 3 nights to get it back on track. I'll share with you an example. What is the best day in America that people tend to feel the most energized? Thursday. Thursday. Thursday is the day in America. Friday is also pretty good, TGIF. But the reason why Thursday is pretty good, as opposed to Friday, is that Thursday we've gotten 3 nights of consistent sleep. But most of the time, Friday night we stay up a little later, maybe even Thursday night, because you know Friday is Friday, it's the end of the week. So you might stay up a little Thursday. Friday, you know, people are pretty good in terms of the mood, but after lunch on a Friday, most of us are kind of checked out. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, how much are you really paying attention on a Friday afternoon? Even teachers and lawyers and doctors, it's Friday afternoon, it's Friday afternoon. We're less engaged, but we're excited for the weekend. So Friday night, we stay up late. Saturday, we sleep in. Saturday night, we stay up late. Sunday, you try to sleep in, but you lay around taking a long nap, maybe watching football all day. And then Friday night, you try to go to bed, but you can't really sleep that well. And Sunday night, you can't sleep that well because you laid around the house all day. Monday morning, we feel the worst then during the week. Have you noticed that? Going to school on a Monday morning, it's terrible, isn't it? Most people on a Monday just want to get home, get in their comfy clothes, and just hang out. Restaurants know that, hence why what night of the week are restaurants closed more than any other night during the week? Monday nights. Monday nights, people aren't going out Monday nights. We've got great television on Monday nights though, because people are home watching it. So Monday you woke up at a certain time, you went to bed at a certain time Monday night. Tuesday you went to bed, got up in the morning at the same time, went to bed at the same time. Wednesday, so by Thursday after 3 nights we feel great. We feel really good. And so the consistency of your sleep is the #1 factor within the whole aspect of sleep. If you violate it one night, like a Saturday night, your Sunday, Monday, Tuesday aren't going to be that good. So if you're looking to get a competitive advantage over your opponents or over the people in your classroom and you know this, wow.